amen when you listen to Aretha. Her voice was declared a precious natural resource by the state of Michigan. And truly, she was like water, air, and sunshine to so many, nourishing something deep inside. No less than Tyler Perry was one of the so many who fed off the Queen. He sent this special message for you today. I was at what you were just watching, the Kennedy Center Honors, sitting in the box with the Obamas. Aretha walked out on the stage to sing Natural Woman. Her voice filled the room with electricity and soul. After she was done, President Obama turned to me and said, "That's why she is the Queen of Soul, the way she uses that voice." I thought about that today. She used her voice to sing us through good times and bad, from assassinations and celebrations, from civil rights to women's rights. I wish more people would use their voice to uplift rather than tear down. That's the power of using your voice for good. That's the power of Aretha Franklin. Our thanks to Tyler Perry and an amen to Tyler Perry for what he just put out there. The entire statement, there's more to hear in that. Go to @ChrisCuomo on Twitter. It's all there. But I want to transition to a journalist who knew and interviewed Aretha Franklin over the last 20 years. He is the Wall Street Journal's Christopher John Farley. It's great to have you. I'm sorry it is for this occasion, but it's important to remember what she means, especially right now. You couldn't get in the door, kid. How did you finally convince her, "I want to talk to you"?
She's a hard woman to get to know. For 5 years, I had to talk to her people, her handlers, say, "I want to do this interview," because she'd had some sort of issue with Time Magazine before. She hadn't talked to us for about 30 years. But finally, she gave me an audience, told me to come down to Detroit, meet her at the Golden Mushroom, a restaurant that's since closed. And we started early, went late, closed the restaurant down. By the end, she started off with a handshake, ended with a hug. We were conversing like we were old college chums. It was just beautiful.
What did you learn?
Well, one thing I learned is that she's not just about pain. People always talk about the pain she went through, the struggles, all that. She told me at one point that, her music wasn't just about pain and trouble. She drew from all kinds of things, that she wasn't just this singular dimensional person, that she did soul, she did rock, she'd do any kind of music that came down the pike, that she saw herself as a singer who could tackle it all. She was very ambitious. She thought a lot of her music. She thought a lot about herself, and you could hear it in the way she talked to you and the music that she put out.
So powerful, she made Italians paint Cadillacs pink. So in terms of cultural resonance, her being called an icon, that's not hype. What does she mean to us?
Well, here's the thing, she had a hit record in every decade of her pop career. So she had longevity going for her. Music is one of the best things we do in America. We invented ragtime and jazz and blues and rock and rap. And when you think of the great voices America's ever put out, she's at the top of the list. That's saying something. And the thing that we do best as Americans in terms of art, she was the best at it. And she wasn't just a singer. She was a terrific pianist. She told me once she was thinking about putting out an album of instrumentals. She was a great arranger. If you listen to the songs on Amazing Grace, her gospel album, you can see the skill she has in arranging songs and recreating them and making them her own. Songs like Bridge Over Troubled Waters and Holy, Holy, and other songs she took on from other performers and made them her own. And she was also someone who I think had a vision for her music, for her albums. She would tackle new things every time.
And she had a vision for us. Artists, of course, activists.
Right.
Especially, we were talking before we started. Right now, we lose Aretha. Not arguably when you would need her most, but we are in such a critical time. And her powers would have been so persuasive in this moment.
But here's the thing. I don't think we've lost her. A lot of times when performers like Aretha Franklin pass on, people say, "Oh, we'll never see their like again." Not the case with Aretha Franklin, because she's someone who influenced so many other singers. We're going to hear her voice echo in the voices of others for years and years to come. Mariah Carey, we're going to hear it SZA, a younger singer. We're going to keep on hearing the kinds of approaches she used to music, the way that she created this persona that no one else had of a strong, independent woman. We're going to hear that in Lady Gaga's voice and her persona. So Aretha Franklin's gone. She's not dead. We're going to keep on hearing her.
The Queen is dead. Long live the Queen.
Exactly.
Christopher Farley, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, so how did Don Lemon become Aretha's text buddy? He is here to tell us and to explain what he feels has been lost. And then I have a song that you haven't heard yet tonight that literally changed my life. What it is and why. Coming up.
Let your perfect drive come together at the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event. Get 0% APR on select 2018 Lincoln models plus $1,000 bonus cash.
If you have psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats moderate to severe plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Hiring was always a huge challenge. Endless hours on job sites with not a lot to show for it. Then, I found ZipRecruiter. They figured out hiring. I post my job, they put it all over the web, and they send me the right people. Because their technology is smart. ZipRecruiter often sends me the right person in 24 hours.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/smartest.
What might seem like a small cough can be a big bad problem for your grandchildren. Babies too young to be vaccinated against whooping cough are the most at risk for severe illness. Help prevent this. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today about getting vaccinated against whooping cough.
Come away with me, Barnabas.
But I am a simple farmer. My life is here. In the field.
Ahoy, hoy, Alexander Graham Bell here. No, my number is 1. You must want 2. 2, I say.
Like my father.
Ahoy, hoy.
As long as people talk too loudly on the phone, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The digital divide is splitting this country. We have parents who are trying to get their kids off of too much social media and computers, and then we have parents who would only hope their children have access.
Middle school is a really key transition point, right? The stakes start changing, students begin to really start thinking about their futures.
What I like about Verizon's approach is that it's not limited to just giving kids new tools. It's really about empowering educators to teach in different ways and exposing kids to more active forms of learning.
Giving technology is not a total solution. Teaching technology, now that is.
Closed captioning brought to you by Viactive Digestive Health.
Is your gut in a rut? Try new Viactive Digestive Health, the only probiotic-derived chocolatey chew to help balance gut bacteria. Available at Rite Aid and Amazon.
I learned today that one of our pals is actually a texting buddy of the icon Aretha Franklin. Don Lemon is here to tell us about it. How'd this happen?
Well, I mean, we were more than texting buddies. That's how it started. I considered her a friend. She saw me on television, and I think the first time I interviewed her when Ed Bradley died, and she loved Ed Bradley, and she called in to talk about it, and we became friends, and she asked for my phone number from one of the producers, and she started texting me and calling me, and we became friends and hung out, and it was amazing. Can you imagine this little kid? She is the same age as my mother. They're about 7 months apart, and this icon that I grew up listening to every single day, pretty much, in my household, I'm all of a sudden friends with her. It was amazing, out of body, but she's just regular as you can be if you're Aretha Franklin, but we would just talk about regular old things when we
Tough, suffers no fools. But what did you learn about her that people should know?
She did not suffer fools very well, by the way.
Nope.
But if you were good to her, she was good to you. And if you kept her confidence, she kept your confidence. And if you didn't keep her confidence, you weren't going to be her friend for a long time. But I learned from her to stand up for what I believe in, do it from your heart, and make sure wherever you work that they pay you what you are worth. And that's what I learned from her. And so thank you, Miss Franklin, for that.
I'll tell you what, going through it today in terms
RESPCT, that's what that is.
100%. When I was trying to figure out, well, what parts do we emphasize? What's so important? It's almost impossible. You can't play with her songbook because there are too many genres over too many different years, 100 different Billboard hits. You're not going to capture it. And then you have her social relevance. Yeah. I grew up with Harry Belafonte, very good friend of my father. Harry, obviously, still alive, still fighting the fight. And he told me the story about them using their own money to fill up the vans so that the marches could continue. She was there, front lines.
She was. And I asked her about that in an interview, and you'll see it later on in my show, but I asked her about that. She said, no, I wasn't on the front line, Don. That was Dr. King and people like John Lewis, who will be on the show in just moments away. But she didn't consider herself to be on the front lines. But her music was. They will tell you that when they were fighting and struggling and going to jail and going in and out of jail for rights, they would listen to Aretha Franklin for inspiration. She even offered to pay Angela Davis's bail when she was arrested. And she said, I think the quote was, something about peace or comfort, that you had to be uncomfortable in order to seek some comfort or to seek some peace.
Well, I look forward to hearing John Lewis describe her impact and what she'll mean going forward for the generation now and those to come. Don Lemon, thank you for sharing your friendship with us. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, so what is Aretha's most powerful song? I don't know. You're not going to be able to give an answer to something like that, but I can tell you which of her performances meant so much to me that it literally changed me. It's a song that you probably haven't heard her sing at least many times before. What, why, and how? Next.
You wouldn't accept an incomplete job from anyone else. Why accept it from an allergy pill? Flonase relieves sneezing, itchy, watery eyes.
They lower your cost. Unfortunately, you can't do anything about that. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Your workspace matters. When it's active, it changes everything. And our new Veridesk ProDesk 60 electric standing desk makes it easy to turn any office into an active workspace.
The challenge was to create the most stable electric standing desk for hundreds less than the competition. We started with a heavy-duty frame, and we designed it to assemble in less than 5 minutes.
Because of Veridesk, we definitely have more energy in our office. I would never go back to a regular sitting desk.
To learn more about how Veridesk can change the way you work, go to Veridesk.com.
Worry-free getaway service, brought to you by ADT. Smart security designed and installed just for you.
Running a business means I can't waste time, especially when I'm hiring. I used to pore over resumes, but now I post my jobs on Indeed. Their screener questions help me get to my shortlist, people with the qualifications I need, like 5 years experience. All saving me time that I get to put back into running my business. Hiring's better when you've got your shortlist. Start your first job posting with free premium placement on Indeed.
Package and get a second pair of qualifying lenses free. Essilor, better sight, better life.
I am proud to nominate this path-breaking attorney, advocate, and judge to the United States Supreme Court.
She knew exactly what she was doing in laying the foundation.
To put women on the same plane as men.
She is really the closest thing to a superhero I know.
Allergy congestion can keep you from enjoying the moment. Allegra D combines a fast, non-drowsy antihistamine with a powerful decongestant to help you break through symptoms for 24 hours of relief. Get back to the moment with Allegra D.
Need fast pain relief that won't make a mess? Just pick and roll
Icy Hot Lidocaine No Mess. Max strength lidocaine penetrates quickly to desensitize aggravated nerves.
No mess. Fast relief. Icy Hot Lidocaine, no mess.
My grandmother was the family historian and was very proud of our ancestry. I began researching different companies to do DNA testing. 23andMe immediately stood out because they offered health testing as well. Taking the actions I've taken because of this knowledge has definitely improved the quality of my life.
Know your body. Understand your DNA with 23andMe. Order your Health Plus Ancestry Kit today at 23andme.com.
The truth matters. Aaron Burnett out front tomorrow night at 7 on CNN.
The year was 1998, the Grammys, Radio City Music Hall in New York City. Aretha Franklin was there for a Blues Brothers reunion bit that they were going to do. You remember that movie. Her voice was so powerful in it that she overwhelmed the production crew. Pavarotti was going to be at the Grammys. He was supposed to sing a song, a famous operatic called Nessun Dorma, No One Shall Sleep. It's his big song at the time, right? He does the rehearsal. Then later the same day, the night of the awards, he bails. What are they going to do? They go to Aretha. It's just before the show, literally less than an hour, and they ask her if she can do it. This is opera, not gospel, not anything that she's known for. A song that a man had owned on the international stage. She says, let me hear him from the rehearsal earlier. She listens and says, yeah, I can do it. Not only does she do it in front of a massive operatic chorus and world audience, but the end of the song has this famous high note finish, for Pavarotti. Listen to what happened. I still get tingles, and that doesn't even do it justice. Ailing of woe. And certainly no one's going to say that this opera song is a signature song for the Queen. But it is often referred to as one of the best Grammy performances ever, certainly for her. And it's for a reason that really mattered to me at the time and even more today. The ability to own something this hard, that's not from her own experience, she didn't write it, it was written in a different language, and still communicate so much, not to mention doing it last second. No real rehearsal on such a major stage. How? Talent? Takes more than that. Aretha Franklin was, of course, a great singer, but she was more. She was a muse. The Greeks said there were 9 muses, but Aretha was enough on her own to inspire several generations, and that's just so far. So why? Supreme Soul Sister. Soul speaker, evoker of the spirit. Energy came out of her as much as sound. Soul food. You could literally feel it up close. It moved men and women half a world away. We would cry tears of joy when she sang of the hope for justice and better days, and tears when she belted out words of oppression and injustice. The woman who turned a cover song into an anthem. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, my favorite lines. Your kisses sweeter than honey, and guess what? So is my money. Respect when you come home, or you might walk in and find out I'm gone. Thank you, Aretha, for sharing your gift, for doing something that is more powerful than making people think or even making them act a certain way. You made us feel deeply, and that can lead to more than anything else. The Queen, my friends, is dead, but long live the Queen. Thank you for watching us tonight. Remember Aretha Franklin for her music and what she meant to so many for all the right reasons. CNN Tonight with Don Lemon starts his coverage right now.
Her music will live on. And I love that in the song where she says, take care, TCB, because she did it. She took care of business all the time. I'm going to get to this, Chris, so I'll see you next time. Thank you, my friend. This is CNN Tonight. I'm Don Lemon. This country has lost one of our greatest treasures, Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, a title that she more than earned, with a voice that could raise any roof, from the church all the way to the White House, with a heart as big as her voice, and a soul that helped to power the march to freedom for people of color when she insisted, as she always did, on R-E-S-P-E-C-T, respect. Aretha Franklin sang for presidents, even bringing President Barack Obama to tears in this performance. This is the Kennedy Center Honors, 2015. And Aretha sang for every one of us.
The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. Oh, yes, I do. I open my head now, and wondering which dress I'm gonna wear now. I say a little prayer for you. Oh, yes, I do.
People across America, I'm one of them, have been playing Aretha Franklin's music, celebrating her life, incredible life and career, and singing along to their favorites. This is one of mine right now. I love this song so much because of the beginning to the piano. She's playing the piano here. It's her cover of Sam Cooke's You Send Me.
Honest you do, honest you do. Oh, you thrill me.
You
thrill me.
Oh my gosh.
Baby, you thrill me.
Honest you do,
honest you do, honest you do.
This is very personal for me, as you can probably tell. One of the greatest blessings of the work that I do is that I get a chance to meet and have conversations with some really incredible people. More than once I've met a hero of mine, but nothing compared to getting to know Aretha Franklin, Miss Franklin. You know, in a lot of ways, her music, her voice, it's been the soundtrack of my life, maybe yours too. For as long as I can remember, I've been listening to
It's early. What you need? Oh. You know I get it.
I'm going to heaven right now.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Her whole life, Aretha Franklin raised her incredible voice in song, but she also raised her voice to fight for justice. Do you think your songs were the anthem to civil rights, to the civil rights movement? So many songs were
Well,
great.
respect was a mantra for the civil rights movement. It was.
Do you feel we're moving forward or fast enough?
I think that we have come a very, very long way. We've come to the forefront in many fields, of course, entertainment, sports, and so on, but we still have a long way to go.
And in a never-before-seen interview for an upcoming CNN original series, Aretha Franklin
came out in the early days of Selma and Rosa Parks. And so my dad said if that was what I wanted to do, it was okay.
You can see there, this was shot fairly recently. I'm not exactly sure of the date, but she was thin there, dealing with what she was dealing with. You're going to hear much more from that exclusive interview throughout the show tonight, so make sure you stick with us. We've got a lot of people here to celebrate, some of her closest friends, and colleagues, and I want to bring in one of them now, and that is another legend, Gladys Knight, Miss Gladys Knight. How you doing, Miss Knight?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay, and I want to do this to honor her, and I'm so glad that you're here to do it, because you're called Gladys the Baddest. She's called the Queen of Soul. And the voice like hers, her talent at that piano, that's why I loved You Send Me so much, because you could hear that piano right off. Her songwriting,
Absolutely.
What made her the Queen of Soul to you?
It was everything. You have to understand that she was the breaker. She was the person that went out front, stepped on out there, and did what she was supposed to do, and set the pace for the rest of us as far as workmanship and all that kind of stuff. And I was 12 when I first heard Aretha sing, you know. And my mom was a part of the gospel family, and my aunt and all of that. And she came home raving about this little girl, Reverend Franklin's little girl that sang Never Grow Old. She said, baby, you got to hear this lady sing, you know. And from there on out, I just had an ear for her music. She touches you somewhere. It's not just lyrics